Alright.
Giselle! That's not what I asked. You're just full of surprises today, aren't you, Michelle?
It sounded funnier in my head.
I will admit, you do have a few things in common with Mel.
Such as?
You can't talk to girls for shit.
To have someone else to talk to. It would be my pleasure. Could you, tell me the way to the cottage? Oh, sure, it's not that far from here. You go down... The directions I got from the nun led me to a place I know from my own time. It's the same building where the man who had been ordered to keep me under surveillance stayed. Sunlight seeps relentlessly through the trees, and I find myself having to look down at my feet as I follow the path. It's blindingly bright, painful.
How are you holding up, Michelle?
I'll be alright. The sun's past its peak. In a few hours it won't be nearly as...
Don't push yourself, okay?
Okay. The trek is a reminder of just how inconvenient my body always was. A reminder, and having this chance to experience being alive again, comes with both the good parts and the bad. But now is hardly the time to complain about my sensitivity to the sun.
Get Michelle some shades.
He would look so cool. It's not long before we reach a clearing, a small cottage surrounded by a small garden coming into view. And crouching by a flower bed, picking flowers, is a flaxen-haired girl.
Aw, she looks really cute with her hair like that.
Yeah! Are you Nellie? Though several details of her appearance don't match my memory of her, she still has a distinct hair. It could be nobody else. This Nellie is considerably thinner and looks rather frail. The effects of her being ill,
Who are you?
My name is Michelle. I have a few questions to ask you. Can we talk for a... I would have thought she'd have said something by now.
You're being way too blunt, Michelle. You've caught and scared her.
What else was I supposed to say?
You have to approach slowly, carefully. Go on, give her a smile. Uh-oh. A nice soft smile.
Smile. It's like twitching all crooked. I'm only here to talk. There's nothing to be afraid.
I don't know, if I saw that face, I'd be plenty scared.
Yeah.
Okay, that is definitely not a nice smile. I can't even see it and I can still tell.
What did you expect? I can't just smile on demand.
Eek! It's a bad man! A bad man has come to kidnap me! Save me, dearest Mel, before this bad man does bad things to me!
Calm down, please. Look at his face. I'm not going to do anything to you. Oh, that disappointed Giselle.
She's like, oh, this is the man I love.
God.
She isn't even saying anything in his defense. Eek! Don't get any closer! I know you're just trying to do bad things to me.
I'm not going to do bad things to you. I couldn't even if I wanted to.
Don't move or I'll call the gods on you.
Please, calm down. I mean you no harm, honestly.
That's
This
what
music...
all bad men say.
No, Don't just watch. This would be a fantastic time for a little advice.
Don't do bad things to her. Got it. Maybe she'll come down if you mention Mel.
You're a genius. I'm a friend of Mel.
What?
He was telling me about you, and how you wanted someone to talk to. He asked me to go keep you company.
Mel asked you to come talk to me.
He did. Do you trust me now?
So that makes you his friend, then?
As much as it pains me to admit it.
Michelle! What on earth possessed you to say that?
Slip of the tongue.
You and him? Is that so?
Yes.
You're pretty old to be friends with my Mel. Are you really, really, really his friend?
Really.
Michelle's just like, children, how? I don't know!
Michelle.exe has stopped working.
Then prove it.
How so?
If you're really his friend, then you should be able to tell me all about him.
Ha, joke's on you, I do. Why in God's name would you ever subject me to that?
Do you not like Mel, Michelle?
Yeah, he really doesn't. That's not it. We're just incompatible.
Okay, here we go. First question. What does my Mel like most of all?
Oh God!
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
She probably wants us to say Nellie.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely doesn't like theater since he would always fall asleep, so it's either Nellie or naps.
Is this an important...
Let's butter her up. I
Yeah.
think. Nellie. You think so too? You think I'm his favorite thing in the whole wide world? I like to believe that's what he thinks. I think it'd be wonderful if I could always be his number one.
Her excessive love for her brother is still out in full force, I see.
Second question, what kind of person is my Mel?
Oh, these choices!
Oh man!
What does the second one mean?
A sycophant? A sycophant, I think? That's like someone who butters up and always like sucks up to authority.
Oh, so the second and third option are the same thing.
No. Like, I think spineless chump means more like he's cowardly and too afraid to act. But a sycophant is like definitely more of a sort of... It's more cloying and more manipulative even.
Oh, okay. So that would be like Maria.
No. No. Because, like, the important part is definitely that they, like, suck up to authority, but... Well, actually, no, I guess in a way she does fit that, since she pretended to suck up to... Warm says, is there an all of above choice?
Yeah!
Oh, man.
So I guess he's a nice guy?
That's probably what she would prefer to hear. I'm very curious about the third one, though.
Yeah, me too.
Because that sounds like what Michelle would want to say. What do you think of those two?
Warm said nice guy.
In quotes.
In quotes. Save and do it.
I don't think we can save. Oh, can we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you can.
Do we want to
just
do it
just
just
in
to see
case.
it? Just
Yeah,
okay.
just in case.
Alright, so which one? Should we go with Spineless Chump then?
Yeah.
How could you?
I misspoke.
You claim you're his friend, then you Go and call him spineless.
That would mean I'm his friend.
You're not his friend at all, are you?
No, I am. I just believe in order to be friends with someone, you need to acknowledge and accept the good and bad aspects of them. Or that's what Didier says, anyway.
Fair enough, I suppose. I don't think he's spineless at all, but maybe he acts differently around you. He's my prince, after all.
Wow, this Nellie's actually, like, chill.
They did say that Morgana did, like, mess with her head to make her, like, more obsessed with Mel.
True. I don't particularly care for that word myself. It reminds me too much of Morgana's incessant harassment.
Wait, which word?
Spineless? I think.
Okay, final question, and, describe what he looks like for me.
Oh my god!
Michelle, please.
Oh my god, I want to do the first one so bad.
I try
Or
not.
actually, no, I want to do the last one.
Yes, me too. Far better looking than.
You want to go for that one?
Yeah.
All right.
Just That's not what I asked. You're just full of surprises today, aren't you, Michelle?
It sounded funnier in my head.
I will admit, you do have a few things in common with Mel.
Such as?
You can't talk to girls for shit.
Dead rats, Michelle. Dead rats.
He's not really all that masculine, and neither are you. You know, at least in appearance, you might make an okay prince. You don't sound very flattered.
Why would I be? She said I wasn't masculine.
Not everyone has to be big and beefy. I like you just the way you are, Michelle.
I know you're trying to make me feel better, but...
Well, that's the last of my questions. You're not a complete stranger, it seems. Sure, why not? You can be my Mel's friend.
Why, thank you.
This is great. I was sure you were a bad man.
Why is it that the first impression everyone has of me is never that I'm someone decent?
Any friend of Mel's must be a good person. No, an amazing person.
That's quite the faith you have in him.
Why wouldn't I? He's my big brother.
That's some circular logic.
Is it just you? Is Mel not coming?
He's rather busy at the moment.
Oh, he always has something to take care of, that Mel. He's hardly giving me any attention these past couple months. But that's okay, because today I've got you to keep me company. Now let me play with your hair.
I haven't washed it in like years. Yes, you do. I can't stay long though.
Alright, just stay until sundown then. You had something you wanted to ask me, didn't you? Well, if you're a good enough friend, I'll tell you anything you want to know.
And how do I go about that?
Talking. Lots and lots of talking. You have to keep me entertained.
God. You're asking far too much of me.
Talking? What's that?
A conversation with a little girl? Oh god.
She's not asking much at all. She just wants to talk.
Do you think someone who spent 13 years in isolation knows the first thing about holding a pleasant conversation?
Hey now, I was there for a year of that. I'll help you come up with topics, so go on. Do you not want to talk to me?
No, I do. I'm just not much of a conversationalist.
Okay then, instead of talking, you can sing. I've never seen a minstrel before, but I've always wanted to know what kinds of songs they play, or sing. Will you show me?
I've never seen one myself either. But I have heard secondhand accounts of the songs of traveling jonglers?
I'm guessing that's a type of minstrel.
Very well then. I'll teach you a song of an old acquaintance of mine heard while traveling.
Whee! I can't wait!
Here goes. La la, ha ha. Oh my god, it's like Drag Michelle Day. The silence is deafening.
I'm shocked. I don't think I've ever heard someone sing so badly. Me neither. I'm flabbergasted. Oh,
Let's hear you try then.
that's enough singing for today. I don't want my ears to fall off.
What a vicious little girl.
I know. Let's bake something.
Bake something?
Yep, come inside. I made some nice jam earlier today, and I want to make it into a pretty little pie. You get to help me with that.
I'm not much of a...
Come on, get a move on. You either help me or you don't get to be my friend.
As you wish.
This is not going to end well.
Michelle burns the whole cottage down. Oh god, what now?
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. How on earth do you manage to turn a pie into this monstrosity?
I gave it my best shot.
There's only one explanation. You're possessed.
Well, I mean...
It's true he is, but I'm a perfectly good chef. Michelle's just naturally terrible at it.
God, could this go any worse?
Can't give this to Mel. Jerk, dimwit, loser. Aww, Michelle.
I'm sorry.
Ugh. Well, I guess we've got no choice but to eat it ourselves. I'll set the table.
I hope someone doesn't get food poisoning.
Mm-mm.
What?
And I'll make us some tea while I'm at it. You know, I've always dreamed of this. Sitting around a table with a friend, having snacks and just talking.
Oh?
Yep, and for that I can deal with a little awful disgusting pie. It's just too bad I couldn't share it with my Mel too.
He is awful. I love him. I see.
For all her complaining, she seems to be enjoying herself. I can only imagine how lonely she is out here. While she may act all bright and cheerful, beneath it is a real sense of isolation.
And the same can be said about the girl behind the first door. As vivacious and pushy as she could be, you could see hints of loneliness behind it.
Her brother was practically all she had while she lived in the mansion. But if I were to guess, that's not the life she really wanted. I bet she would have preferred to be able to go out and play with friends.
Being born into a noble family takes away a lot of your freedom.
Even in such drastically different periods, she's still the same girl inside. Actually, maybe the parallels extend beyond her as a person, and into the courses of her two different lives.
Perhaps that means all those who were reconstructed at Morgana's wish are destined to lead similar lives. Though destined might be putting it too nicely. Nellie,
Hmm?
I would be glad to lend you my ear if you would like. You can talk about the weather, or your brother, anything you want.
Aww. You will? Great! Take a seat. Let me pull out this 1,000 long diary.
Oh god.
I've got lots I want to talk about. More than you can possibly imagine. And you'll never guess what Mel said next. But I mean more to him than anyone in the world. So I'm growing flowers out in the garden, right? Well, when I've got enough of them, I'm going to make a big bouquet and give it to Mel. Back at home, we've got this really, really big yard with this huge tree we used to take naps under when it was nice out. So what do you think about the tea I made? The flower petal is what really ties it all together. Oh, and you won't believe what happened after that.
The pages are 30 feet long each.
Care for another cup of tea? I'll make as much as you can drink.
No, thank you. I'm fine. He's like completely full of tea.
Really needs to go to the bathroom.
I feel like all I did was nod and listen. And the bulk of it was about Mel, no less.
Curses. I haven't talked that much in ages. Time sure flew by, huh? The sun's starting to set.
Do you and the nun not speak much?
We do, but it's kind of... I don't know. Not really the same with her. It just feels, I guess, like she's too important for me to waste her time being the lady in charge of the church and pretty much the whole estate.
And what about Mel? Does he not visit you very often?
No, he does. He comes to see me a lot.
Then why...
He hasn't been himself lately. My old Mel would always happily listen to whatever I had to say, but now he seems kind of distracted. It sounds like he's really busy. When he visits, he doesn't stay for long, and he has to go back to the mansion at night. I'll try to get him to stay longer, but it never works. And he always avoids the question when I ask him why he can't. It feels like he's hiding something.
Knowing what he's hiding, I can understand why he wouldn't want to talk about it. He could never tell his precious little sister that he and 2 other men have a girl locked up in a tower, and that he's stealing her blood for her sake.
I wish things could have stayed the way they were before.
The way they were before.
When it was just the 2 of us living together. I know we're more stable here, and I can get the medicine I need from the church. But I'd rather stay being sick than be so alone.
You said you came here around 6 months ago?
Yep, it was just the 2 of us before that. Well, before that, at our old house, we had a bunch of servants. But I never really liked it there either. With that many people around, I just felt more alone. I liked it so much better when it was just me and Mel.
Is that really what you want?
You got cut
To be sick? Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Is that really what you want? To be sick and in constant pain?
It's better than being alone. Mel just doesn't get it. He doesn't understand that the loneliness is so much worse. Or maybe that's just a guy thing. They don't get what it's like to be ignored. What it feels like to be left in the dark, not knowing anything.
We don't understand, no. We think saving their lives matters above.
Huh?
Even if there's a cost to saving that life, we're incapable of gauging how great it is. We're unable to see how egotistical, how self-serving our actions.
Aww. Are you talking about yourself?
The same could be said of Mel as well, I imagine.
Mel's still around, though. He's there, but it's like he's trying to avoid me. All I want for him is for him to be here, to be with me. That's all I really want. He doesn't even have to be perfect fairy tale prince.
Have you ever told him that?
What?
Have you ever told him that he doesn't have to be the perfect brother? That you'd be happy with just having him? Have you ever put those feelings into words?
I'm always telling him I want him around.
And that he doesn't have to be your prince to do so?
He's already said that he will be my prince. And he always smiles whenever I talk about it. So how am I supposed to turn around and say he doesn't have to be my prince anymore?
I know it's not your intention to force an ideal image onto him, but unconsciously, subconsciously, that's what you're doing when you talk like. And Mel, he's trying to meet those expectations. Actually, he may not be conscious of it himself, and he just believes deep down that that's the kind of person he's supposed to be. Or, more accurately, he seems to have a need to make himself look good to others. He believes that if he's good to others, they'll be good to him in return.
Am I a burden?
I can assure you he's better off with you around.
But I am a burden to him right now, aren't I? Be honest with me.
Yes, you are.
Does Mel not like me anymore? Is that why he's been avoiding me?
I promise you that's not the case. At the very least, he's doing what he's doing now because of how much he cares about you.
You promise?
I promise.
I love him. I love my Mel so very much. Too much, in fact. To be honest, I know I do. I understand that, really. I know I'm making his life difficult. But Mel's all I have. He's the only person I can latch on to. And I can't control my feelings.
It can be difficult to tame your emotions at your age. There's nothing wrong with that. However, you should have taken stock of those emotions, sorted through everything you've got on your mind, and then sat down with him to talk it out. Even if those things you feel seem wrong or unspeakable. You should have opened up to him, taken the time to figure out what works best for the both of you. You too needed to face the things you carried in your heart, the things your brother carried in his. By not doing so, you end up never quite on the same page. Small misunderstandings piling up until it all comes crashing. If they just talked it out, communicated their feelings to one another, maybe their tragedy could have been avoided, even with Morgana's curse, and if Nellie only had a chance to come to grips with her feelings for Mel, then maybe things wouldn't have escalated the way they did. Her actions that night were arguably hysteric, but she wasn't always like that. I'm sorry. That was out of line. None of this is any of my business, I know.
I'm very grateful for how they're going about dealing with this.
Yeah.
Because, like, too often this stuff gets romanticized, but I'm glad that they're not just, like, immediately demonizing her either.
Right.
No need to apologize. You're a very curious man, you know that?
Huh?
We only met a couple hours ago, but you talk like you've known me my whole life. It's like you can hear everything I'm thinking, see everything in my heart. Did Mel tell you all of that?
No, he did not tell me much.
I didn't think so. He doesn't know me that well. It's not too late, is it? If I talk to him, really tell him how I feel, do you think Mel will listen?
I know he will.
It won't make things worse. It won't make him uncomfortable.
There is a chance that rifts may form at first, but those cracks can be filled in. And I promise you, the result will be something much better than if you have held it in. It'll all work out.
Okay. Next time I see Mel, I'll tell him. I'll tell him he doesn't have to try to be my prince.
Good.
You really are a curious man. You're the first person to ever talk to me like I'm a real person. Everyone loves to say how sweet and adorable I am, but that's it. I was only ever their make-believe princess.
You are a real person, I assure you.
Thanks. You know, after talking to you, I'm feeling a whole lot better. Like I can do anything. I'm glad you came by today.
And I'm glad I could meet you in person.
It feels weird. It really feels like we've known each other our entire lives.
I've known of you for some time. Or perhaps I should say what you will become.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, ignore me.
Was that supposed to be a pickup line? Bad Madam Michelle, I'm still too young for that.
No, I wasn't.
And now you're getting flustered.
I swear that's not what it was.
I know. Jeez, do you really think I trust you that little?
Sorry.
Oh, I just had the most wonderful idea.
Oh?
Yep, I'm afraid. Instead of being my friend, I'll let you be something even better.
Huh?
You're my second brother.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. I was about to be like, Nellie, no. Second brother.
A brother is much, much more special to me than a friend. Though, obviously, you can't be my number one.
I'm blinking.
She's taking a liking to you. This is good for us. And then Giselle Michelle had a little daughter.
I'm not sure how I feel about her putting so much trust in me so quickly, though.
The amount of time it takes isn't important. What matters is that you listen to her. You understand her and you treated her like a real person. In her eyes, you're someone she can depend on. Hi, Mont Blanc. Michelle, the relationship doctor. He did do a really good job of that, being someone who hasn't done much socialization in 13 years.
Yeah.
Do you not want me as your sister?
Actually, I was the youngest child, so having a younger sibling would be.
Would be what? Come on, spit it out.
It would be rather nice.
Oh, Michelle!
He's so cute.
Oh, I love him. You bet it would. Who wouldn't want an adorable little sister like me?
That's a bit narcissistic, wouldn't you say?
Well, it's true, isn't it? Go on, tell me I'm adorable, dearest Michelle. What? Well, don't just stare at me. If my man were here, he wouldn't bat an eye.
Please don't compare me to him.
Sorry, if they're afraid to break it down, they could also like lockpick it. Isn't that a thing?
That's possible, but I think they're more unlikely. Like, the only person I think might be able to do that is Kyoko.
I mean, lockpicking
we
is
don't-
not that hard.
Have you done it?
Yeah.
Ooh, naughty Hime.
I needed.
I've
I
studied
needed-
the principles of it, but I've never done it.
I needed to open the door to my room once.
Uh-huh.
Like after we got like after a break-in at home, we started like every time we left for a long while, we left all the rooms had locks. So besides the house, we also left like all the rooms locked. I think someone did, or I did. I don't remember what happened, but the thing is that apparently the key to my room was inside my room, and my room was locked, and on the second floor.
Wow.
So my dad was just like, "Okay, let's look into how to lockpick a door." And I'm like, "Okay, let's watch YouTube." That's how I learned how to lockpick a door.
I once managed to quote unquote unlock a door, a car door. It was when we got out of the carnival and some people got locked outside of their car. They're like, "Hey, you're small." They had like the back window of their car just slightly propped open, so one of the guys just lifted me in, and I slipped through that and unlocked it from the inside.
Nice.
Secret agent style, huh?
Also, my
Yeah.